What's up, guys? So today I'm doing a demo episode for a new series, and that is featured roster reviews. I already do roster reviews pretty regularly, and several people have asked me to turn it into a video series. I've been a little bit hesitant to make it a video series because I just assume that most people wouldn't find it that interesting. Some people really enjoy roster reviews and they like learning, but I've been of the impression that when it's not your roster personally, it's a little bit dull. It's a lot of just me mumbling to myself and typing stuff out. So we'll see how entertaining it is. But I figured if there was any roster that would generate some buzz for a series like this, we could start off with the one and only Cerebro. I'm joined by our community manager. What's going on, man?
Hello, Mr. Khasino. Thank you for having me on today.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. So yeah, we're going to be doing a full workup. If you have questions about how you can get a roster review, I will include all the details for that in the video description. But the short version is you can just sign up via my Patreon, and then depending on what amount of stuff that you want reviewed, I have all different stuff that I can do for you. But jumping into this roster review, we're going to do a full workup. So normally that includes the Hero campaign, Villain campaign, Nexus campaign, Cosmic campaign, Mystic campaign up front. Am I safe to assume that you have completed all those campaigns?
Yes. I haven't quite gotten to the end of the Heroes campaign yet. I'm trying to finish up my Shield team in order to do that. But I did get to the second mini boss node in that one. So basically, I'm not farming Colossus yet, but I'm very close to it. I think it's the only one that I'm not at yet.
All right, fair enough. So, so it sounds like you already have the concept for the team that you want to use for that.
Yes, I think so. I just need to, like many things, I just need time to sit down and actually hammer through some of those nodes.
Fair enough. And I'd cut you off before we started recording the video portion. You were letting me know about how long you've been playing and stuff like that. So I think you said you were 447 days in.
That's what the game says in my achievements. I actually reached out to you because I'm finally starting to get to the point of where my roster is it's getting to the point of where it's full enough to where I have to start making decisions on attackers and defense in line choices. So, my roster is feeling a little fragmented at kind of the lower end where it's not the obvious choices like, power armor. Okay. Obviously war offense and, as Guardians, obviously war defense, but there are plenty of other, almost kind of like free agent characters, like say, for example, like Crossbones, right? Like I'm not exactly sure like which team I should be putting him on. Should I put him on offense or defense? Like there's stuff like that. And, one of the things I also say is we're focused on building the car. Like you're driving, right? Like you guys seen Ford v Ferrari. There are guys who build cars and there are guys who race cars. Those are kind of two different things. And I think of you as more of a someone who drives the car. So if I need advice on driving the car, I'm going to talk to a driver, not a mechanic.
I appreciate that. I like that, that analogy, and I don't know if you were on board for this, but still, one of the coolest moments in my life, like an all-time highlight, was when the original Dark Dimension came out. So they had put in, cheat detection for Dark Dimension, and one of the things that it looked for was if you finished with everyone full health and everyone full cooldowns, they had just assumed that would be impossible. And so it would give you anomaly detected. There's no way you went from the beginning to the end of the node and cleared everything and have everything available for the next node. But I did it live on stream, and I absolutely was able to do it. And then when it anomaly detected me, I did it a second time. And when it anomaly detected again, I was like, what the heck is going on here? I wrote in, and they were basically like, oh, we just assumed that a performance like that was impossible. Now we know.
Yeah.
So that was when I knew. I was like, well, I'm exceeding someone's expectations. So that was really cool. But yeah, so speaking of driving the car, actually there's a few things. We'll get to Alliance War, offense and defense in a sec, but there's a few things that I encourage people to think about when they're deciding how heavy on offense or defense they want to go. The first thing is, within your alliance, are you one of the smaller guys or one of the bigger guys?
I am...
Or somewhere in the middle.
Good question. I think I'm like somewhere above the middle. Like I would say I'm maybe in like the 60th percentile. Like I'm not quite like dead middle of the pack, but I'm probably a little bit higher than that. Right?
Okay. So upper middle.
So yeah, upper middle. Like.
All right. The reason I ask, and for anyone watching or listening, if you are like one of the lucky super small guys in your alliance, then you're going to want to go much more offense-based, because even your best defense is mostly going to get trampled if the enemy alliance is about as strong as you are. Whereas if you have a strong offense, at least you can make your attacks count and keep pace with the rest of your alliance. On the flip side, if you're one of the biggest people in your alliance, you probably want to go more heavy defense, because there will be very few opponents who are actually able to challenge you properly. And even some of your second string and third string attackers are going to be about as strong as many of the other people in your alliance. So that's one of the first things I look at in terms of should you be more offense or defense based. Now there's also like your alliance might just have made the decision, we go really heavy on defense, we go really heavy on offense. So that's a factor as well. But assuming that they're trying to strike a balance, that's the main thing I look at. And then the only other thing is, what room are you defending? Because certain rooms, it's not too much variance, but certain rooms justify... A good example is like hero brawlers. Hero brawlers can be used on offense or defense. They're a pretty neutral team. But like if you're in security, where no matter what the enemy's facing, you are going to have defense down, your hero brawlers are just going to pack considerably more punch in that room.
So let me confirm. Yeah, I am on flight deck 3.
Okay, that's so we don't have to consider any room bonuses or anything, and that lets me know that your alliance does not value you that much, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, again, that's kind of why we're chatting today, right?
Yeah, we'll see if we can improve that. But yeah,
we'll see if we can improve this.
All right, flight deck 3, nothing too crucial. You're not. It's not like if you don't hold the line, a big buff room goes down or anything. So it's kind of a no pressure situation. It gives you an opportunity to show up on offense a bit. So that's good.
Sure.
But just by the way, does your alliance have any idea who you are? Or are you totally undercover?
There are a few people who know, but most of them do not. I think it's basically just the officers.
Gotcha. I'm always curious about that. All right. So yeah, we'll get into war offense and defense a bit, but so it sounds like you're good on campaign. So passing all the campaigns, the next thing I usually do here is arena offense and arena defense. Now I always ask people, I can do what I call offense now, defense now, or offense later, defense later, and it's basically, do you want me to look at the characters you have and let you know right this very minute the best characters that you can be using for arena offense or arena defense, or are you comfortable enough with what you have right now and you want to know, with the characters I have right now, who should I be powering up to ultimately lock in the best arena offense and defense, even if it takes me 3 weeks or whatever?
Yeah, sure. So I can just tell you what I'm running, and then you can maybe make suggestions from there. So on defense, I have not Magneto, Falcon, Vision, and Ultron.
Magneto, Falcon, Vision, Ultron, and who? I missed one.
Juggernaut.
Okay. And that's defense, you said?
That's my defense.
Okay.
Yes. And then for offense, I have Falcon, Ultron, Minerva, Star-Lord, and Captain Marvel. And Captain Marvel because she's a 6 red star for me.
Gotcha. Is she one that you took up with the gold promo credits? Or
yes. Yeah.
Nice. Did you take up someone else, or you still have them?
Falcon. So Falcon and Captain Marvel. Considering that I use them both in both arena and war, I figured it was a safe bet. Plus, I know it doesn't help Falcon too much, but he does have that percent-based passive to his health. So, I mean, he does get some benefit more than others.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad character. Once you take him to 6 red star, you can use him in, Ultimus 7. And that's a really big thing. If I could use my Falcon in Ultimus 7, I certainly would. All right, not having Phoenix, not having Black Bolt, so you're basically two meta teams behind the absolute forefront.
Sure.
Okay. And I just want to reference, I have a bunch of graphics I've done on my phone, actually, that I do for my own note-taking.
And then for reference, like, I can come in, if I'm really paying attention, I can come in the top 100 in my chart.
Nice.
But most days, I'm not that focused on what I'm doing, and I'll end up coming in, like, 110, 120, something like that.
Gotcha. I think you're close to using the best arena offense and defense you have available. Again, I'm going to look for tweaks, but basically there's like an X-Men Inhumans hybrid that's really the top spot right now. Then there's like a full X-Men with Ultron hybrid that's kind of in number 2, and then an Asgardian hybrid is kind of number 3, but your Hela's down here, which is normal. And then basically a Brotherhood hybrid is your next best. So the Magneto Juggernaut combo is great. I like but you're running a Star-Lord Captain Marvel. Interesting.
For offense.
What are the main defenses that you're seeing? Are there defenses that are a big counter to Magneto?
Let's see. The other defenses I'm seeing in here, like, Magneto's is the kind of the hardest one for me to fight. Like, it's really hard for me to deal with that blind, that turn 1 blind. Let's see, like, someone who's like rank 110 has like Magneto, Juggernaut, Phoenix, Ultron, Minerva. 115 is Scientist Supreme, Shuri, Mr. Sinister, Ultron, Minerva.
That's an odd one.
Here's a BKT team at 120.
All right, but so that you're already running into at least one Phoenix, so there's probably just more Phoenixes down the road.
Probably, yeah.
All right, yeah. So in your chart, you're going to run into some Phoenixes, and you just have limited tools to deal with Phoenix because she's just
I mean, Falcon usually does the trick. Falcon usually allows me to deal with it
by taking everyone out of stealth and then popping the rest of the
taking everyone out of stealth. Right.
All right. Yeah, I'm on the fence about. I like Falcon, I like Ultron, and I like Minerva. It's the Star-Lord Captain Marvel, and your Captain Marvel is very strong, and your Star-Lord's not bad. But I'm wondering if Magneto Juggernaut. Have you tried Magneto Juggernaut in place of Captain Marvel Star-Lord?
Try it. I am trying feverishly to get the rest of my Brotherhood up to 7 stars by the time the Magneto event comes around again. So, I'm farming Pyro from the War Store, and then Sabretooth from Raid Store and Mystique shards. So that's what I'm shooting for, is to try to get him to 7-star by the time he comes back around.
Nice. And I'm sure you don't need me to tell you, but Mystique and Sabretooth have kind of relegated themselves to the Marauders these days, and Toad and Blob are not only rounding out the Brotherhood, but they're just better on the Brotherhood.
I'm trying to do refreshes. I'm at least doing the 50 core refreshes on the Toad event right now. So I'm trying to get him up to a point, and then eventually Blob, of course. To where I can easily replace them.
Fair enough. All right, and then Minerva looks good. So I think I'm gonna suggest replacing Minerva with Captain Marvel here. So
okay.
The beauty of arena offense is that you get to be adaptable, and you can kind of see what your opponent is running, and then go from there. So I can put in here sub Minerva as needed, because there will be matchups where just having Minerva, if they have heavy burst up front that's going to take someone out, having Minerva to just revive that person is going to be the better bet. But otherwise, I think you'd be better off with Falcon, Ultron, Captain Marvel, Juggernaut, Magneto, just because the Magneto ult is fantastic, and it counters almost everyone. Like, unless you're seeing a Rhino or Asgardians with Heimdall, something like that, it's pretty potent. And then you've got Falcon for the extra turns, and yeah, Captain Marvel and Ultron should just delete people, and Juggernaut should be able to take a hit just fine.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got for Arena offense. For Arena defense, you're already using Juggernaut, Magneto, Falcon, Vision, Ultron. I like that quite a bit, and your Vision is pretty strong. I don't know if I'm going to make changes to that. Captain Marvel is great there, but anyone that you sub in Captain Marvel for, you're going to lose some of the defense. And with this team, at least, there's the opportunity for like Falcon to just make people take a bunch of turns and take someone out. So yeah, I think I'm happy with your defense as is.
Okay.
You can sub Minerva, but again, then you lose those defense ups, and those defense ups will cover everyone except Juggernaut and Magneto. So Magneto's the vulnerable one. Attacking into Magneto's not too bad though. I'm wondering. Yeah, like there is an alternate arena defense, but it depends what people are attacking into you with. If you're already around the point in arena where some people have Phoenixes, I don't think it's going to make a significant difference. So I'm going to say leave your defense as is for now.
Okay.
So moving on, then I do an Ultimus raid team. Are you doing Ultimus 6?
6 and up to 30% of 7.
How often?
I think just once or twice a week. I can't remember which one.
All right. I assume you're 100%ing Ultimus 6 without much trouble.
Oh yeah, that's farming status.
Okay. Then so Ultimus 7, you've got a pretty solid tech wing already from what I see. So you've got Ultron, you have a good Vision, you have a good Falcon, you have a good Minerva, and you have a good Scientist Supreme. And there's a couple variants on that. Let me see where your Shuri is at. Okay, you do have Shuri, so she's in here. She's in here somewhere. Shuri is... Oh, there she is down there. Yeah,
I'm still working on my Shuri. I just unlocked her with the last time that she was available. So she's a little behind, but I'm getting her there.
No, she's not too bad. I mean, anyone once they get up around 45k is at least usable in Ultimus 7. Obviously, okay. Ultimus 7 will definitely reward you for just having crazy red stars on a character, but like 6 gold, 4 red, I'm comfortable using any top tier character around that. She could use a little bit more gear just because she's gear tier 11, but she's not far off. And I mean, ultimately, what she does, she just shows up and gives defense ups and gives spot healing. So she'll do both of those things fine, and even the extra gear won't make a big difference. The only thing to worry about is if she's like getting one shot, but again, I think she's already healthy enough to not really get one shot too often.
Right.
But is that close to resemble the team that you've been using?
Yes. Yeah, I've been using that recommended team that people have been touting.
Right on. All right. On to the Blitz teams. So again, a full workup here will usually include, if you need, hero, villain, Nexus, Cosmic, Mystic campaign teams, arena offense, arena defense, an Ultimus raid team. I don't break down all the Greek raid teams just because every lane there's so many different ones. If there's like a particular Greek raid, a particular lane that you're really struggling with, I can throw that in. But I generally don't do that by default just because there's could be so many things, and then the Greek raids are always rotating. Then I will do all these sure to win Blitz teams. Sure to win Blitz teams being teams that will have a 90% plus win rate in 8.3 of Blitz. And then from there I do war offense and war defense. So this is where I'm going to need you to help me out.
You're making it sound like a haircut.
Something like that.
First we're going to take a little off the side. Not too much. We're just going to do a little bit there. Then we're going to move on to the back. And do you want that rounded, or do you want to?
It is. I have it down to a concise formula, and it allows me to streamline it a little bit.
Nice.
But so on that note, for the Short Blitz teams, I'm going to need a little bit of your help with the filtering just to save me some time.
Okay.
So starting off, we'll start at the top of your roster. It looks like you can run a Guardian team just fine. I don't need you to filter that one. So just the Guardians of the Galaxy are definitely going to be a sure to win Blitz team for you. Next up, how are your hero brawlers? Just because I see Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. So, do you run a hero brawler team?
Yeah, I've got one that I put on war defense. So, I mean, my America Chavez is okay.
Yeah, I need like power numbers. I can see 2 of them.
Oh yeah, hang on a second. Didn't I send you like the?
You did, but it's quicker for me if it's a hassle for you. Don't worry about it. But it's easier if you just filter roster by hero brawler.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Quicker
No problem.
than me digging through.
Not a problem. Hero. All right, my America Chavez is 21,000. I'm about to take her up to 5 stars. She's a level 55 and tier 9. So,
right.
like,
she's
kind of like, she's been a side project, right? Like, I've been trying to put stuff into her whenever possible, but I have other priorities.
Understandable. No, I mean she's not that essential. You mainly use her in Blitz and in War, and even there, like the brawlers aren't your most menacing war team or anything. And they're the only reason it might have a little bit more weight in Blitz is because of the amount of points your Captain Marvel's worth. But you can kind of stick her on any team. But what are your other hero brawlers at?
Okay, so 50. The other ones that I could use, I've got Black Panther at 35.
Okay. Is he like next highest?
He's the next high. I mean that I would use for a hero brawlers team. Like I've got Symbiote Spidey, but he's at 31,000. And then, I mean, I've got Iron Fist at 63, Daredevil at 51, but again, they're defenders.
Right.
So really, like the next ones is Black Panther at 35 and like Gamora at 23.
All right, yeah. So no hero brawler team, but that's fine. Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel both do great as free floaters. So, I will make a different Captain Marvel team, and we can just put her on a team that's worth an absolute ton of points. So, what are your defenders at, just so we can get them out of the way?
Okay, defenders are better.
If they're decently balanced, then they're working for you. That's really all I need to know.
So defenders specifically, Iron Fist 63, Luke Cage 53, Jessica 52, Daredevil 51, and Punisher is... Where's he at? 55.
Yep. Okay. So yeah. So they're very well balanced. You're fine there. That team will work no problem. All right. What's your aim team at? Just because I see your Scientist Supreme up here, it's pretty swole.
Yeah. I'm my aim team's decent. So Scientist Supreme is 53, Graviton 48, Assaulter 42, Security 40. And then I'm working on the squeaky fifth wheel of Monstrosity at 31.
Yep. So for the time being, just because Infector is worth slightly more points, it makes sense to use Infector for your Blitz just for right now, because the team's going to win anyway, and you'll get slightly more points. But eventually, you'll want to drop Infector.
Yeah. But
again, for the time being, and then. Who were you leaving off? Researcher as well? I think so.
Oh, my Researcher's nothing. It's 194. I've done nothing with it.
No respect for Researcher. All right. No, yeah, I don't. I got a big red star drop on Researcher, so I've had to include Researcher. But mainly Researcher's more for raids. Not bad for war defense either. But
what are your feelings on taking using your tier 5s on the Assaulter for his passive, so that way you get an extra 10% speed bar?
Oh, you said tier 5s are going to make people go into a frenzy. I know you meant the passive tier 5, but tier 4 ability mats. Yeah, you said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, yes. You're going to have Reddit on fire. Tier 5 ability mats, Cerebro leaked.
No. Okay. Sorry, everybody.
Calm down.
T4 mats to get it to level 5.
So I actually, let me see. I don't remember that specific ability offhand, but I made a.
So On turn, change speed bar by plus 10% for self and adjacent aim allies. If you take it to level 5, it changes speed bar by plus 20% for self and adjacent aim allies.
We're talking assault or passive?
Assault or passive.
So I made an Orange Essentials infographic and YouTube video for AIM, and the number one recommended ability, if you're going to put any T4s in that team, it's assault or passive is your first one.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just I don't know why. I kept holding back on actually putting it on him.
Nope, especially if you're investing pretty heavily in your AIM team. Yeah, that one is literally the biggest one.
Yeah.
The most valuable resource in this game is speed, and so yeah, anytime you can get extra speed. Every once in a while, there's some that are like marginal, like Falcon Special will only ever give you an extra 5% speed bar, and so like every 3 turns, that 5% that's not that critical in the scheme of things, because but after like 3 full turn rotations, a lot of matches are already decided. But generally speaking, anything that gives you speed is one of your top choices, unless it's such a small amount of speed. You can almost never go wrong giving characters more speed.
All right.
And that's one of the things that makes that assault or special or passive so valuable, is it's speed for a bunch of people.
That's what I thought. I don't know why. I always come close to hitting that upgrade button, and then something always
right. It's less about is this ability worth it, and it's more about as soon as I put this here, am I going to realize my Asgardians are missing a key ability, and that's really the decision making is which team. I've had a few my Scientist Supreme special. I know I should do it, and I'm gonna do it sooner or later, but I just know as soon as I pull the trigger on it, some new character will release, and I won't have the T4s that I need for that new character, and but I know I should do it, especially with how much I use her in Ultimus 7. So with your Spider-Man symbiote up here, how's your Spider-Verse looking?
Not great. They're another team that's lagging behind. I can look at them, though.
That's okay. Some teams have to be lagging behind, and the goal is to have them be ones that aren't super critical for anything right now.
Yeah.
So Spider-Verse is not super critical.
So Symbiote 31, Carnage 32, Miles 30, Venom 29, Spider-Man 21.
That's actually great news for Blitz. Spider-Man, you could just give a little bit of love to, just so that he's not an insta-kill in Blitz. But for Blitz, it matters less whether they're all 30k or all 60k, and it just matters more, can you use them as a team? If you can use them as a team, you can reliably get a win out of them. So I've just been calling them the Symbiote Spider-Verse to differentiate from anyone that would be on Sinister Six.
I automatically make that distinction, but I understand what you mean.
Yep. But yeah, so you're good there for Blitz. They'll be fine. Again, if you wanted to take Spider-Man up to 25k, just so that team would be a little bit more solid, but even that's not an urgent thing to do. Spider-Man, until super recently, was an absolutely top tier character, and then Symbiote Spider-Man showed up and gave him the anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been sitting on... I have enough stars to take him up to 7. It's just that I've been hesitating spending the gold.
Yeah, I saw that. At the bottom of your roster, you just have rank ups galore. Almost everyone's waiting on so many rank ups. And people are worried, we need more gold, Well, here's your proof positive. Cerebro's not looking at his roster I'm swimming in it. I don't know what you peasants are talking about.
Yeah, it's not like I'm looking down from my ivory tower, guys. And that's kind of one of the points of this too. I just wanted to show you, we play the game the same as you do. We experience many.
The video lagged there. You cut off. You said we experienced many.
Oh, I just said we play the game the same as you. We experience many of the same things. That was it.
Gotcha. Oh wow. Oh yeah. It continues too.
It continues.
Oh, it's up to the middle of your roster. You still got people waiting on rank ups.
It doesn't stop.
All right. I'm just gonna
assume many yellows.
Yeah, you're waiting on lots of rank ups. They have gold offers actually. All right.
Yeah. No. I do get some of the heroes I made the hero offers. Like I'll buy Minerva. I'll buy Hela, stuff like that. Those are usually the ones that I go for.
Yeah, the rare characters. Yeah, those are the ones I encourage people. Like if you're only going to buy certain stuff, buy stuff that you can get quickly that will otherwise just take you forever to get. Those are,
or the ones that are just like stupid good. Like there was the you could get 50 shards of
for like
Black
99
Widow
cents
and Hawkeye for $4.99.
Yeah.
So and you could buy it twice, so you could get 100 shards of each of them for $10. Like those are like, oh well, yeah. I mean, of course I'm going to do this. Or like Wasp was like,
yeah.
Why not?
Yep. I'm always curious. One day I want to talk to whoever decides like what those offers are, because sometimes they just come out of nowhere and you're like, this is clearly a much better offer than whatever we've seen in the last 3 months. Like who did? I like to imagine they just like throw a dart at a dartboard and they're like, all right, we're giving out a lot of this character shards today. We just feel like it.
No, it is not that random. But I do get involved in conversations about those things sometimes.
Well, it sounds like people want a better value Sif offer, perhaps, with the news of Sif going to the war store. So, food for thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's we'll have to see. Like there are too many moving parts for me to track every single thing. I'm trying to keep a pulse on the biggest beats.
Fair enough. By the way, just while I'm here, I'm looking. You have Nobu and Kree Reaper favorited.
Mm-hmm. Just so I can farm their characters.
Oh, okay, for the legendaries. Okay.
Yeah, just for Nick Fury and eventually for Phoenix. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're the lowest of the ones that I'm just bring them all up to a level to where they can get close enough to where when the events come back around again and you get the bonus character drops, I should be able to put them over the top.
Makes sense. Yeah, I was just wondering. I'm like, I don't see the rest of their teammates up here. What's going on? But if you're just focus farming for a legendary, it makes sense.
Yep, squeaky wheels.
On that note, all right. What's your shield team? I see security at 52 and medic at 40. I see Nick at 45. So you probably have a working Fury shield team.
Yeah, they are pretty decent. I'm trying to get shield medic to 7 stars. Then again, that's why the Kree Reaper is up there. Is my Nick Fury's only at 5, so I'm trying to get him up too. My assault is the lowest. It's only 33.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Assault, you don't. I mean, assault doesn't have to be crazy powerful, but assault you want on the team for sure. Have you done the T4 assault passive?
The T4. I'm at level 4. No, I have not done. Oh, where it gives the extra crit chance. No, I have not done level 5.
Oh, sorry, that's pretty big. All right, so all
right, if you say I should do it, I've got 700 orange mats right now, so I've just been very hesitant to commit to it. I definitely do after my milestone resets, and I'll go ahead and do the
assault passive.
Yeah,
that's a big one. It gives everyone extra crit, and like the big threat of that Coulson team is them blowing someone up right out the gate. And so them having offense up, and then if they get those crits, like it can be the difference between killing one enemy on turn 1 and killing 2 enemies on turn 1. And when you get 2 enemy kills on turn 1, that victory's on lock. And then they all get so many bonuses per crit, whether it's turn meter rewind or some other bonus effect. It's great.
Okay. So, see, this is why I need you.
Crit is the engine that turns the shield team. But so I guess we'll get to war for Blitz. Who's lower, trooper or operative?
1 second.
Or medic?
They're basically trooper and operative are basically the same. They're each at like 10,000. My medic is at 40.
Okay, so you're not using trooper or operative is what's going on.
No, not at all.
Okay. So with no trooper operative, you have to run Coulson on that team, even in Blitz.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, normally you can, if you have them all powered up, and it's understandable that you don't, but if you have them all powered up, you can pull Medic and Coulson off to a separate team and run the rest of them as a Fury Shield team. But all right, so
gotcha.
We're looking at Nick Fury, Agent Coulson, Shield Security, Shields Assault, and Shield Medic. No Trooper, no Operative. All right. Moving on. What's your power on that?
Rondia says Cerebro has better milestone habits than Khasino. I love it.
It's not surprising.
Why is he taking a swipe at your milestone?
Because he's one of my officers and therefore one of my biggest critics for some reason. He holds me to very high standards. If I ever do anything inefficient, he's like, "You're an example for everyone. What are you doing?" I get no slack. Of course, then when he messes up, it's oops. But fair enough. I get it. Comes with the territory. Your power armor looks pretty strong. I just already towards the top. I see Vision, War Machine, Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
You must be pretty excited for Ironheart. Rescue down there at 45 is fine. The only one I see missing is Iron Man. Where's Tony? Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, he's hanging out down there.
Oh man, he's like especially now he's like the punchline of that team. Like he's the final word. His that damage buff that he got.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna need a fill-in for him. Otherwise, your power armor team will work fine. Let's see. Any tech character with a good turn 2 AoE. You know what? There's your Crossbones right there. For Blitz, anyway, you can absolutely use Crossbones.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a turn 2 AoE, and he'll get the defense up. And the beauty of him getting the defense up from Vision on spawn is he can actually tank. Like, he's had a taunt, but without defense up, you don't really want to press it. But with Vision, it's safe to go ahead and do it.
All right.
So, power armor plus Vision sub Crossbones for Iron Man. Wow, Tony Stark replaced on his own team. I've seen far more crazy things, I'll say. I might make a comment here and there like, oh, what's going on with this team? But just I've seen rosters of all shapes and sizes. This one makes a lot more sense than most that I do see. I see like, oh yeah, most of my X-Men are pretty low. I do have a giant Wolverine. It's like, well, that's not helping you very much. Yeah. Some people just power up what makes them happy, which is fine. But then they ask me, they're like, all right, now how do I make this win a lot? I'm like, I'll do what I can.
I kind of feel like right now. Have you seen the movie High Fidelity?
No.
Okay, very good movie. You should watch it. So there's a part in the movie where Jack Black he works in a record store, and because that was the thing in the '90s, you had to make movies about record stores because like they were going away. But like Jack Black is like escorting this guy around the record store, and he's basically, giving him digs that like he doesn't own like all of these different records. Like he's like, dude, you don't own Blonde on Blonde by Bob Dylan? Like that is perverse. Do not tell anybody.
That's funny. Yeah, I have to be roster doctor / roster critic sometimes.
Yeah, that's fine.
But no,
I totally get it.
Again, though, it's like you have most of power armor. It's sometimes I review a roster and it's like they have like 3 of every member of every team at a good power, and it's like it's incredibly difficult for me. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like that's an easy sub, and that team will be fine. You're gonna have some conspiracy theorists in the chat now, like, why is he not powering up Iron Man? What does he know that we don't? So
it's not. It's so I might have when it comes to those, but not for like things that I want to do. It's like whenever I'm doing something in the game and I want to be doing it better, I immediately just switch focus to that, right? So it's like if I'm not doing well in Ultimus 7, I don't have the attention span to stick with what I was doing. I'm like, well, I need to start going and leveling up my Shuri, and then well, now we have like tier challenge. I want to get to the next tier of this challenge. Well, I'm dropping that, and now I'm going to be doing this. So that's kind of like what. That's why the roster looks like it does.
No, that's literally everyone. I've never seen a roster that didn't have some elements of like, oh, I was in the middle of doing this, and then this became a higher priority. And the number one thing I hear from everyone is, I feel like I'm getting pulled in so many directions. If there's one thing the game does well, it's that it makes you, as soon as you start working on something like, but I should really work on my challenge team. Oh, but I really need to work on my mercenaries for the payday event. Oh, but I really need to finish this campaign. It's very good at pulling you in all these different directions. And
and then Durr announces that he tells me that we're going to need Wakandans for the Flash event for the tokens, and I'm like, well, now I got to go start farming M'Baku shards and Okoye and.
Yep, forever behind the curve is the life of a Marvel Strike Force player, but it keeps us busy. It's better that than like, oh, I got nothing going on. I have all the characters I need. When are they going to give me something else to do? So.
And I think that what the game does do, and just me objectively saying that you are making that progression to a certain point as well. So it's again I'm just trying to get all I got to do is just get my Iron Man up, and then my power routine is good. And if I spent a week really focusing on getting Iron Man up there, he would be done, right? Yeah. And he would feel good and powerful, and then the team would be done, and I can it feels nice. So I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yep. If you can block out all the other things that you want, because naturally we want everything all maxed out all at once. If you can just be like, look, this is my project. Everything else is just gonna have to sit where it is, but I'm making this one character stronger. With the exception of like a handful of unfarmable characters who need stars. For the most part, you can power up any other character, and especially with like the recent change to gear. Once you have a character around like 4 gold stars, if you really go just all in on their gear, take them up to like gear tier 13, or if you have the resources 14 and you give them a bunch of T4 abilities, they're all right with lower stars. I mean, it depends specifically for if you're literally going against like 7 gold star, 6 red star characters in arena, you might struggle a bit, but that's not the typical experience for most of the things you do in the game. So even without having full access to shards, you can do a pretty good job of getting most characters usable. Having said that,
let me look at the chat again and see. I look like Mac from Always Sunny. See.
Oh, people are saying Iron Man's not very legendary. Well, he kind of got downgraded. He's like baby's first legendary now. He's a 3-star unlock. I feel like that's their way of acknowledging that he's not on par with the other legendaries. But he was the first one. He's like a 2-year-old legendary at this point. So
yeah.
Continuing on though, let me see where your Kree are at. Just trying to go in order here. I see a 24k Reaper. Minerva and Korath are way up there. I want to see where Ronan and the minions are. All right, Ronan's at 40.
This guy says, hey, will you ask Cerebro for an employee discount on gold offers? I don't get an employee discount on gold offers.
Sounds like you need to talk to Scopely. Let's make it happen. How about just a community discount on gold offers? That way everyone wins. So it looks like all the Kree minions are like in the 20s, and then you got Ronan. So do you run a Kree team with Ronan? Do you have Ultimus? Let me see. No, okay. Getting there on Ultimus though. Cyborg's down there, but that's okay. So we got Ronan at 40, Korath at 54, Minerva at 52. Just a surprisingly big Royal Guard out of nowhere, just because you were able to farm him from Blitz store, and then you got 5 red.
Yep.
Okay.
There was a specific reason. Why did I take him that? I think it was because I just had a huge surplus of like extra shards. Like he was at like over at the point where he was like 7 stars. Like I had like 450 or something like that. So I was like, all right, I'll just pay so that way I can get all of the Ultimus award.
Yep.
Shards, something like that. I think that's what it was.
Makes sense. And he works well.
C Freak says, what is a record store? So time music came on a disc.
Yeah.
Big old vinyl disc.
I'll let you tackle that one. All right.
And stores would gouge you for it. I think what really did the music industry in was that they just stopped putting out good albums. Like, towards the end of the 90s, like, most of the music you bought was like, you got lucky if like 3 songs were good on a CD that you bought, you know? So, you know, you didn't need to buy those big old pieces of vinyl. You just wanted to get like a single or something like that, or a ringtone. That was a thing for a while. Do you remember when people bought ringtones?
Oh, I do. And callback tones too, so you could listen to a song while you were waiting for them to pick up. Then you get mad. Yeah. You're like, I was just getting into the chorus. Why'd you answer? Couldn't you wait it?
Yeah. Wait, call back. I want to hear the rest of the song.
Yeah. All right, so I think we got a good Kree team for you with Ultron. I assume your Brotherhood. I see Juggernaut, Magneto, and Pyro are all good. Where's Sabretooth and Mystique? I know you said you were working on them.
Oh yeah. Sorry, 1 second.
No problem.
Sabretooth is 42.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mystique is 43.
Yep. Okay, those are fine. And then just let me find your Strife. I'm guessing your Strife is going to be kind of low. Oh yeah, 11. Okay. So all right. So you've just kind of got a Sinister. All right. Well, you can throw Sinister on the Brotherhood. It doesn't much matter. The Brotherhood, no Toad or Blob. Alright, we'll see. Maybe we'll put Sinister on there. Maybe we'll put him on a different team. Thanos, still a free agent. Crossbones, we used. Defenders, we used. I used that Kree. We'll get to your Supernatural in a sec. Let's do Supernatural now. What are your Supernatural at? I'm guessing your Elsa and your Ghost Rider. I see Elsa at 9.
My Supernatural is not good.
Well, 3 of them are. But yeah, your Ghost Rider and your Elsa are itty bitty. Speaking of, by the way, formal request, you got to make Supernatural farmable. They've been unobtainable for a while now, and they're such a fun team. They're great. And
we're going down the list. We're going down the list. I mean, as you guys just saw if you guys watched Strike Time today, you'll see that we're making both Sif and Hella farmable this month. So, you know, we're getting around to things.
That's progress. But I just voice my own personal opinion. I think Supernatural a little overdue. They were like one of like the top 5-ish teams when they kind of came out, but they're already slipping with the introduction of new teams. By the time they become farmable, I worry they won't pack the same punch that they did. Like for a while, their biggest plus, in my opinion, was that they did really, really well against Coulson teams, and now we already have the new Brotherhood to just really take it to Coulson teams. So they already got replaced at their main job before they became farmable. That's just one thing, by the way, and I know that this is a roster view, not a feedback session, but if I can just spit something out into the ether and hope someone hears it, I notice sometimes that some of the teams are made to do certain things, and when certain characters on that team become farmable, end up like really interfering with that team actually being able to serve their purpose. Like they'll introduce a team to, you know, counter some other team, but the team that they're supposed to counter will get made available quicker. And so there'll be this big lag time before that team can actually like step up and provide the counter. And then like right at the time that they become farmable, like some other team gets like a single edition and then just bumps them completely. And then it's like, you know, the whole point of that team was never realized. Like the most egregious one of these that I remember was way back when, excuse me, they made Spider-Verse as like the non-legendary counter to the original Fury Shield. But the problem is they took forever. Like they made Carnage really, really difficult to farm for a while. And I think one other character on that team too. And so people were...
I think he also I think he got pushed back too. Oh, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, this was before I was here, but that's what I remember hearing.
Yep. No. Yeah. He definitely did. There was a delay. They actually had a sponsored content creator announce he was coming, and then it got pushed back, and we didn't get that update, and everyone was all in a hoot.
How you doing?
That's the one. All right. Glad to see that joke's still alive. Was not expecting that. But yeah, so I remember that, like, they at even power, it would have been great to have a Spider-Verse, but like it was virtually impossible for everyone but like the top 0.1% of players to even get Spider-Verse reasonably farmed up to the point where they could challenge. Like, everyone had giant Fury Shield teams at that time. And by the time you finally could actually have your Spider-Verse powered up where you needed them, it didn't matter. There were already like 3 other teams that could do the job by then. So it was just like they never got an opportunity to realize their potential. So yeah, just be mindful when you release a team. Be mindful of like how long it'll actually take before the average player has that team in position to fulfill the job. Because some teams just just get left behind. Like, I feel like Sinister Six is not that prevalent, and Sinister Six has a good function of countering the defenders, but they don't do a great job of being like your go-to villain team for the villain campaign. So most people just skip them, and I'm like, I'll just go to the Guardians. Like, it doesn't really...
Sure.
So now they're needed for a legendary, but yeah. But I'm just ranting at this point. Back.
You should give all this feedback to Zach.
Noted.
He is the person to tell these things to.
That's the guy I'm talking to on Friday?
Yes.
For those
Zach Reynolds.
Perfect. For those of you that don't know, Friday, similar to the Q&A that we did originally with Cerebro, I'm doing a Q&A with a senior game designer. Is that his title?
Yes. So he's all things characters. So any feedback you've got on characters, he's the guy. I'm
so excited to talk to this guy. This is my favorite part of the game, is like the character kits and who's designed for what. I think it's most people's favorite part of the game.
Sure. It's like the puzzle element, right?
Oh yeah. It's what makes this gameplay so rich and addictive. All right, so your Brotherhood's good. What are your Wakandans at?
I just got them to the point where I can bring them all up to 5 stars, but I haven't yet.
No problem.
Only a couple of them are up there. So again, my Black Panther was 35. My Shuri is 40-something.
45.
Sup, Josh? Greetings personally to Cerebro from me.
And I think that's pretty much... I don't think I've taken up any of the other 3.
Oh, okay. So just not running a... Yeah, I see Killmonger down there. All right. And there's a Quay. All right. So yeah, so the Wakandan team's not happening. All right. No pre-made Wakandan team. How about... So you said your Supernatural's not there. I saw Strange down at the bottom. I see Mordo and Scarlet. So this team, you've got Mordo, Scarlet, and then where are your Asgardians? I know your Asgardians aren't complete, but I'm probably going to merge your Supernatural and your Asgardians into one team.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Sorry, 1 second. we took a little sidebar, so I'm doing one of my Ultimus 7 nodes really quick here.
No problem. This is also a common occurrence during roster reviews. They tend to take a little bit, and I'll hold on, I'm doing a node. Okay, and you got Hela, so you can actually make an awesome Hela Spider-Verse team. All right, I see 28k Thor, 29k Hela.
Yeah, I'm like in the process of bringing them up right now.
Yep, I see 3. Well, we did we did Symbiote Spider-Verse. Okay, so yeah, so it's going to be Hela Thor. Sif is down at 18, Heimdall at 17. You know what? Your Asgardian team, as it is not far off, depending on where your Loki's at. Is your Loki stronger or weaker? Maybe weaker?
I think he's stronger than most of them. I think
I'm missing him.
I'm mistaken.
Why am I not seeing Loki?
He's favorited.
Oh,
he's at the top there. He's 37.
Okay, 37, and then Thor is 28. Yeah, all right. So Loki is big with Mordo and Scarlet Witch. All right, so let's do Loki, Mordo, Scarlet Witch. So that is 43, 49, 37. That's fine. And then, yeah, I could use the... Do I want to go as far as 28 to 49? It's not that crazy of a jump, but it really cuts their... The two damage dealers being the lowest is what concerns me there. Could go Ant-Man for control. I see Wasp down there. All right, so Wasp is not with Ant-Man. And then we have Thanos up here. Thanos is not bad for this crew. Let's go Thanos, Loki, Mordo, Scarlet Witch, and then if there was just like that level of control is incredible. If we just have good damage there, I think you're good. Is there a good damage dealer around that power? Or it can just go Mr. Sinister and just make sure the team doesn't lose. Let's go Sinister and just make it a 6-man team. I'm fine with that. Mr. Sinister. Although, let me see, because Mordo has incredible synergy with Hela. It might make sense to just stick a low Hela on there. Let me pull up.
Okay.
I got my game here. I just want to see the Mordo passive. I forget if Mordo gets all the healing from the Gregs. If Mordo gets the healing from the Gregs, we'll throw Hela on there. On death of a Mystic, just any Mystic. And I believe Greg is a Mystic, so I think we'll do that. And then you can, I mean, it's a very safe bet to power up Hela anyway, and Hela's going to be farmable in the near future, so there's a lot of good reasons to it. Oh, that's another one I really should pull the trigger on. Yeah, he is Mystic. Is the Hela passive. I really should do that. I know I should do it. I'll do it. So yeah, so let's go Hela here. So and then let me just see how reasonable. Oh yeah, and your Hela's only gear tier 9 and only level 60. Okay. How much gold do you have on hand?
Let me see. 1.3 million.
Okay. That'll maybe get her to like 65. I'm just seeing, and then I have Thanos. All right, Loki's 37. Thanos. See, I think I'm gonna drop Thanos from here as well. Then
Cerebro, would you rather have a fish for a right hand or a cloud for a left foot?
What is that question? Would you like to answer a completely ridiculous question?
Sure. What's the ridiculous question?
They asked.
Only if I can give a ridiculous answer.
I don't think you have a choice. They asked, would you rather have a fish for a right hand or a cloud for a left foot?
The answer is I'd rather have a penguin for a left hand.
I think that's a perfectly fair answer. We're asking the hard-hitting questions now. We got to grill them while we got them.
All right. Yeah, I should go back through some of the chat log here. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Also, somebody mentioned earlier that there's a high-fidelity TV show coming to Netflix, I think. So it's High Fidelity, the next generation, I think. So it's not like, John Cusack and, everybody from the original, and Jack Black and stuff like that from the original one. But
all right. I'll perhaps check it out. I was excited. I don't know if it's...
No, you won't.
Probably not. You lost me at Record Store. That's it. Are you of the opinion? Some people maintain that that just nothing beats the audio quality of vinyl. I'm skeptical of that, but I don't know.
It's supposed to be that people like it because there's a lot of mid-range. It's what they say. It has a very warm sound. So I guess that's why people prefer it.
That's a temperature word.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm simply relaying what other people.
I can relate. All right. So no Sue. All right, and so all right. Fantastic Four's down here. All right. We did a Kree team that looks good. No Marauder team. There's the Symbiote Spider-Verse. We got the Brotherhood. We got a Supernatural Hybrid. Got Fury Shield. Got AIM. Your Avengers. It's probably doesn't make sense to make an Avenger team. I see Black Widow's kind of up there. Are any of the other like Wave 1 Avengers up there around her?
Not really. No.
All right, and the only other synergized one to check out is the Sinister Six. All right, so we got like Black Widow, the odd one out.
Let's see. Ant-Man's 36. Hulk is 28.
Yeah.
Captain America 13. Hawkeye 7.
Oh, poor Hawkeye.
7,000. And I know that you said before that he's. I don't know if you still are of the impression that he's undervalued.
I am, but so again, it's how do I explain this? Like he gets talked about like he's like just plain in the trash heap, and it makes me mad because he's like solidly in the middle. So when I say like he's undervalued, it's not like he's secretly one of the best characters and everyone's missing it. It's just the amount of respect he gets versus the amount of respect he deserves. I feel is the most disproportionate of any character. People just assume he's so bad, and he's not. I mean, first off, everything he does is unavoidable. Every single thing. So anyone that relies on, evades, dodges, all that, he takes to him. He has multiple buffs he can dispel all at once, which also does turn meter rewind. He has a multi-target blind, and like it's not uncommon. I'm sure you've seen it occasionally happen in Raid, where a Hawkeye fires his ultimate, and like 6 people get blinded, and that's like average RNG, because it's like a 50% blind with a guaranteed blind to the primary target. So like 6 out of 10 blinds is like average luck. He can get like 8 out of 10 blinds with slightly above average luck. And then it's not that crazy of a cooldown. So if you have him with like Captain America and even Star-Lord, he can just keep ulting. It's really crazy. So he's not an urgent, must be upgraded best character in the game, but I've seen people get like high red stars on him and they're like, yeah, but it's Hawkeye. Like, psh, yeah, you do you. I would absolutely power up a strong Hawkeye.
Wow. I really triggered something with that top.
That's how I feel about Hawkeye, all right? He's not just the bow and arrow guy. So since we dropped Sinister, so how's your Sinister 6 before I make this this Sinister team?
I mean, do we really have to keep embarrassing me?
Well, I think you're doing better than most.
Let's see. Green Goblin 24, Rhino 21, Mysterio 17, Shocker 10, Vulture 9.
The problem with that is it's Vulture and Shocker you want the strongest, but I will say, I see right away you can literally star up Vulture. That's good. Yep. And then Shocker you could probably just
almost do it twice.
Yeah, almost.
Sorry, go ahead.
Actually, very close. Yeah, what's that? 13, 23 shards? 23 shards.
Yeah, something like that.
Not far off. And I think he's Arena Store? I think so. But yeah, so if you just power them up a little bit, your Sinister 6 will come online. So I'm going to list them as one of your sure to win teams, not because they're ready to go right this moment, but because it would that's like if you set aside 2 days, you'll just bring your Sinister 6 online. And then that's one of those things where like a Sinister 6 that's all like 15 to 20k in war is going to be able to punch up considerably on those random scrap teams you see that have 50k power over them, just because synergy will offset that.
Gotcha.
But all right, so I've listed them there, and I'll put a little note: power up Shocker and Vulture. And in my opinion, Shocker and Vulture are the best two to have like above everyone else. It's not urgent for you to do that, but if you want to just really hammer home how reliable they are, especially in late tier Blitz, Shocker and Vulture are the two. Generally speaking, this is just a pro tip. I don't know if you've heard this, but for anyone listening, for building Blitz teams, generally speaking, you want the tank to be the lowest power and the damage dealers to be the highest power. And you don't want to get too crazy with that, but it's perfectly acceptable to have like a 30k tank and like a 50k damage dealer, and that will make your Blitz team far more reliable. And on the flip side, I see a lot of people do this where they're using a synergy team, but it's like a 50k tank and a 30k damage dealer. And like, I'm not sure why I'm struggling. It's like, well, because you're facing like 70k enemies with 30k damage dealers. You're just not killing anyone in time. And then as soon as they, focus out, when your damage dealers is typically already squishy, now you just have nothing in the chamber. You're just never going to be able to take them down. Whereas if your damage dealers are able to pop 1 or 2 enemies real quick, like Blitz is all about like racing to that first or second kill in a lot of instances. So just general Blitz team building advice. But all right, so that looks good. So yeah, I'm mainly just going to make a couple of randomly cobbled together teams with some strong characters that are a bit out of place, and then I think it'll be good on Blitz teams. So you have a 35k Mr. Sinister. Your Black Panther is not being used. I'm gonna go hand Sentry though, for sure, just because he's a bit of a weaker tank there. Ant-Man's certainly not bad. Might stick Ant-Man there. Is there anyone else who doesn't have a team? I think we used all these characters pretty effectively. All right, let's go Ant-Man. That should be fine. So we're looking around the 30k range. Who else is free floating here? I don't want to use BP. Hulk is a good one. And Thor for Wave 1 Avenger synergy is fine. We can go Hulk and Thor. It's actually, and then now you've got 3 Avengers, but yeah, that team will be fine. You have Ant-Man for the AoE slow. Hulk can tank, and Sentry can also share the tanking duty. Is there an Asgardian? Did we use Hela? Yeah, we used Hela on that team. Okay. All right. And then this one has me wondering, who was the highest on that otherwise? Was Mordo? No, Scarlet at 49. Yeah, and then Thanos at 54. All right. Oh, we do have 45k Black Widow, actually. A strong Black Widow here is not bad either. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And then that Hulk will be able to take a hit even when he's weak. And now you've got the speed up. Yeah, the speed up and the slow. All right, that'll work better. That's the better team. And that frees up Thor if we want to use Thor on a different team. We've got Merc Lieutenant, got Spider-Man, got America, got Gamora. You know, we actually have a brawler team without Miss Marvel. But I think I'm going to do, just because it's really not a bad brawler team. Let's go Spider-Man, America Chavez, Deadpool, Gamora. It's such front-loaded damage here. And then probably I'm thinking like Merc Riot Guard. Could go Doctor Strange. Could go like Merc Lieutenant, but probably Merc Riot Guard. I think. Yeah, let's do that. That team is going to be all right. They're very vulnerable. You'll have to be careful of the matchups you take, but they do enough damage between Spider-Man special, America Chavez special or ult, Deadpool ult, and then Gamora has 2 really rapid turns. You can probably carve someone up, and then Merc Riot Guard should protect everyone just long enough, and then turn 2 they have really heavy hitting abilities as well. So, on that note, having the Sherman Blitz teams makes it much easier to do war offense and war defense. So that's what we'll do. And we deduced that you're probably going to strike about a 50-50 balance and you're in flight deck, so we don't have to take room bonuses into account. So we'll start with the staples. And I imagine since you don't have Phoenix, is there like an X-Men team that you run? I see like Storm's kind of down here.
Nope.
All right, and Fantastic Four still in the works. Yo-Yo down here. All right, so then let's do this. For war offense, definitely want to see the Symbiote Spider-Verse are an excellent offense team. The Power Armor plus Vision.
I gotta run to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back.
No problem. I'll put a pause on this. What's going on, chat? Yeah, ad break. I probably could. Well, no. Most advertisers want their ad like early on in the video. But what's going on, chat? You guys enjoying this so far? Yeah, it's a 1/2 chair stream. So again, it's of my opinion. I know for people here live, it's a bit more exciting, but yeah. I've been of the impression: are you going to buy Sif or mini uniques in War Store or both? Well, I'm probably going to prioritize mini uniques How do I farm Gear Tier 14 mini uniques? In the normal supply store and in the war store. How do I feel about Sif? I mean, I'm glad they made Sif farmable. Like, here's the problem. Beat that drum. He knows. I don't have to. He's well aware. He's literally made comments saying, like, I'm very well aware that everyone wants save squads, and we're trying to get it resolved. But yeah, trust me. If I said it, you'd immediately see him roll his eyes. Like, I know. I've harassed him about it quite a bit already. But so yeah, with Sif, like obviously Sif is a tougher farm being in the war store, and so it would be better obviously if she were. I put Spider-Man in twice. Oh, you're right, I did. You're absolutely right. Good catch. Good catch. Let me fix that. Oops, not this. Good call. Let me fix that before we go on. Well, we do have Wolverine, but it's not quite the same. Can go Merc Lieutenant. Or I can go Doctor Strange. Yeah, let's go Doctor Strange. That way you can punish people, make them vulnerable. But that team's going to be sketchy. All right, where were we? Yes, it would be nice if we had. It would be nice if we had tabs for the save squads for various game modes. Who else is coming in the villains campaign in addition to Hela? I assume he would have said that if he knew. How will the promotion credits for Dark Dimension 3 work? Not sure. Suggest for legendaries you have already unlocked, you can do the last 7-star part of the event every time. I do agree. Yeah, those arrows to Blitz are excellent. Dan Sturck, that's correct. Now, yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's correct. But 10 weeks for almost 300 shards is not too bad. 12 characters or 3 characters? What? 3 characters? What are you why would it be 12? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question, Rondius. That's a good question. That's a good question. Oh, 1, 2, or 3. I imagine it's 2. That's correct, Danson Dirk. But you know they're so first off, you're doing that. That's in your personal situation. Your situation is not everyone's situation. So, like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to get Black Bolt to 7-star unless I spend a little bit. I don't see that as a major issue. It's 7-star Black. I'm not getting 7-star Black Bolt. I'm okay with that. Yes, I am aware, Jose X, but in the scheme of things, it's a lot more than 10 weeks. It's a lot more than 10 weeks before the rotation. Like Black Bolt's having an event now. It's going to be a lot more than 10 weeks before Black Bolt event comes back around, and it's for Black Bolt. So you have to make the choice if you'd rather have Black Bolt. People don't like having to choose, and I get it, but
yeah, you think it's tough, right?
Yep. So it's just the war store. Like the war store, it's so expensive for characters from the war store. Like the war store, any characters in the war store are just far harder to farm than any other store. So it has the illusion of being like all the other stores, but it's not only is it tough, but then there's so many other super rare valuable resources that are only available in the war store, and unless we're gonna get like a big influx of more ways to score war currency, it's just rough. It costs a lot, but I mean, it's if you want Black Bolt, that's what you got to do. And of course, they'll have offers for Sif, and they'll have Asgardian orbs and stuff. Maybe there'll be another Blitz, so we'll see. But again, like I have only 6-star Sif. I have 6-star Black Bolt. I'm not gonna get 7-star Black Bolt. I'm not losing sleep over it. It's okay. I don't need 7-star Black Bolt urgently. I'd like it, but they kept her there in a permanent spot. Yeah. I do agree. A war character orb, a war orb would be great. I think we should. But all right, fine. I'll ask him this question. But again, this was more a roster review, not a Q&A. So after this, back to business. But so someone's asking, the villain campaign. Do we know if it's going to be 3 character nodes or 2 character nodes and like a superior basic catalyst node? Oh, sorry, that wasn't even his question. Sorry, forget that question. Well, you can answer it if you want. But sorry, his question was the Wakandans. The flash event coming up for the Wakandans, normally they have 7 like tiers for like 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, etc. But the only way to have 5 Wakandans is to have Shuri, which means there's no such thing as 5 Wakandans below 5-star. So,
right.
So how?
So I'm not making a guarantee right now because they are working on it. But from what I understand, the 4-star and below won't need Shuri.
Okay.
It will be for the 5-star Wakandan mission and above.
Makes sense. All right, cool. That's a slight bummer that we're going to have to do it that way, just because people who are able to complete even the 7-star one are just going to run out of the attempts after 3 and then wait for it to come around. So, mildly unsatisfying for the late game players, but what can you do?
Yeah, it was something I was going to ask about.
All right, so that'll definitely be a defense team. So we'll do Fury plus Coulson. All right. Then we did the power armor plus vision. The Brotherhood, the Toad or Blob for your offense. We'll see about that. All right, those are random for defense. We want Guardians of the Galaxy. No Gamora. All right, we've got defenders. We've got aim. This is fine. I kind of like this team for defense. You don't have to use that exact same team, but you can. Alternatively, let me see. If we went, well, no, I mean I've got the crossbones on the power armor team anyway. Oh, you could do like a sinister hand.
Oh,
sentry.
Excuse me. Oh, jeez.
Sinister hand sentry.
So we ever read some more chat here while we're this people to feel.
Let's do this. All right, I like that defense team. As is. Okay.
Promote Cerebro to CEO. That's what the people want.
I second that.
I don't think that's really what I want. That's a totally different job. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I like my job. I like getting to make strike time and come and do roster reviews with Khasino.
That's probably more fun than like having to be responsible for everyone's job and do hiring and firing and.
Well, you just sit in meetings all day, basically. Like that's what most CEOs do. Is they just sit in a boardroom like all day long, meeting after meeting. I think when you're not doing that, you're having meetings in your office. It's just like it's constant, nonstop meetings.
Sounds like a blast.
Oh, huh? For some people, it's...
To be fair, from what I understand, you do a lot of meetings as it is.
I do, yeah. There are, we scheduled that I have, and I get the opportunity to present to the directors of the game team every Monday night. So, I basically spend all Monday working on what I'm going to present to the team that night. I work on a report, and I say, here's what the players are talking about, here's what they're asking questions about, here are suggestions for improvements, all that stuff. So yeah, I do some, but I don't think it's as many as, I think the higher up you go, the more meetings you're in on a weekly basis.
Sounds about right. I just know most of the time I message you, you're like, just had a meeting about that, having another meeting about that on this date. I'll get back to you.
Sure. So so those are usually a lot of impromptu meetings, right? So that's like, oh, we've had this thing come up, so now we need to get everybody in a room to discuss it. That's not like a regular, like, on the books meeting that we normally have. That's just like a, like, I don't know. Hang on, let me try and pick a real example here instead of just a hypothetical one. It's a good recent example. Oh, real-time PvP. Like they had sent out like an invite to that like the day before. We're gonna have real-time PvP in this meeting room at lunch. Like, come play it, talk about it, let us know what you think of the latest iteration of it. So it's that's usually the type of stuff I'm talking about with a meeting. It's not like a boring meeting where people like showing charts and graphs and no, it's a, all right, here's the topic, let's discuss,
Right.
Yeah, those kind of meetings, like, they could be more like stand-ups, I guess.
Pretty open-ended, not so bad. I want to put let's do this. Captain Marvel.
You broke Cerebro. How'd you break me? I would make evil Maelstrom would make camp in the office. It's a nice office, but I mean, you don't want to sleep here. Here's the worst. Here's why you don't want to sleep here. They turn off the air conditioning at like 7:00. So 7:30, like, I'm ready to get out of here because this just the AC has been turned. They turn off the AC from like 7 to like 6 a.m. or something like that.
Oh, this is not a bad idea either.
It gets warm pretty quick.
Can do this.
Let's see. Is there going to be a daily objective for PvP? Not to start with. PvP is starting off as purely a casual, engage if you want to mode.
Yep.
At least as far as I'm concerned. I mean, like, look, nothing's 100%. That could change. Maybe. I mean, I don't know, because we've been saying, since the beginning here that this is a casual mode. So if we came out with a reward, like, I don't know, some people would be upset by that because they said, like, well, you said it was going to be just casual. So I don't know.
Just food for thought. Contest of Champions had like a duel feature, and they basically just had like a rotating little quest for it, and it was literally as simple as just like do it 3 times. You didn't have to win or anything. Just engage in it 3 times, and here's a prize. And it just made sure people were actually using it. So could do something like that, and it wouldn't change it from being casual, and it would be a new avenue to add some more rewards.
I think potentially yes, but I think just because this is such a big departure from any other game mode, that the team is just being very conservative about the rollout, right? So
I didn't think we'd ever get it. I wanted it from day one, but I didn't think we'd ever actually get real-time PvP.
It's fun. It is fun.
I cannot wait to verify that.
I think it's fun. For me, I have fun playing it. I don't tell people whether or not you should be having fun doing something. That's up for you to decide.
Well, I didn't mean that as like oh yeah, we'll see if I believe you. I meant that more as like rub it in, all that fun you're having that I currently
I got it. Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it. Any idea when we might get a taste of that?
Well, Mr. Durr said in the Strike Time video that we are aiming for I think he said in there we're aiming for April. So it's not our next big client release. It's the one after. So then I think there's still one planned for this month. So I believe he was referring to our big release in April.
Oh, one planned for this month. That's news. Cool.
Well, I mean,
planned.
We usually put out a release about every 5 to 6 weeks.
Yep. Fair enough. And I missed, so I heard something about the Ironheart getting pushed back. Is it just Ironheart after Red Skull or held till next release, or don't know yet?
She's likely going to be held till the next release. I mean, you can still, she's still viewable. A lot of her data is viewable in the game and stuff. It's just that, we just realized that Ironheart and Red Skull were basically going to be released almost on top of each other, and we just realized that it probably wouldn't make for a great experience having players trying to go hard for both of them. So we just decided to push Ironheart back.
Fair enough. Yeah, I started seeing what the releases. I was like, well, Blob looks like a Blitz release. Red Skull looks like a Blitz release. Ironheart, we haven't seen anything about the release. Would kind of struck me as a Blitz release type character. So I was like, I wonder what's going to happen. So it's making more sense. And I don't know if you're eligible to answer this. I don't know if it's an inappropriate question, so feel free to plead the fifth on this. But are you able to say if the next patch we're going to see is 3.9 or 4.0?
Well, the next one would be 3.10. We're in 3.9. We're in 3.9 right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we are.
Yeah,
Oops.
yeah. If you go and you tap on if anyone at home wants to play,
no, you're right.
you can just tap on the info on the app icon. You hold down on it, you get app info. It should tell you the current version that we're on.
Yeah, no, you're right. I forgot because we haven't done the tier list for this patch yet, and I just in my head whatever the tier list is at is what we're at. I'm just behind one.
Yeah.
All right. So last question here, and then I think I've got you wrapped up for this review. What current defense teams are you running for War Defense?
What am I running for War Defense?
Yeah. Yep. Just because there's some scrap teams.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me open this.
I've got 5 solid defense teams for you.
I haven't updated this in a while. Oh shoot, I'm in matchmaking, so I can't get in.
Oh. Well, if you're going against Cerebro, best of luck. Enjoy this war before he changes his defense to what I'm recommending, and it'll be a little tougher.
Yeah. By the way, my in-game name is not Cerebro. So if anybody in the game,
so if you see someone named not Cerebro, don't fall for it.
Not Cerebro. Hot dog, not hot dog. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, I was going to make some scrap teams, but basically where we're at is you've got about 10 solid teams, and so I've done the balance here, which is I've got 5 solid war offense, 5 solid war defense. The rest of the characters you can kind of build to counter, but these are going to be 5 decently heavy hitting defenses and 5 decently heavy hitting offenses. It's up to you if you want to shift that power a bit. Oh, all right. I put defenders. Let me just make sure I did not miss. They're on defense. They're on offense, they're on offense, they're on offense. There's 3, that's defense, offense. They got broken up. Oh yeah, let me put the Kree team on defense. So that will be Ronin, Kree, Royal, Guard, Korath. Those 3 were big. And then just anyone that can fill in there and do a decent job. But then it'll be scrap teams after that, and you'll be all set.
All right.
Oracle at 28 I think is fine, and then you had Reaper at 24. So let's go create Oracle, and yeah, we can go Kree Reaper. It's fine. It's not going to be too crazy, but it might catch some people off guard. Right, and then so I'll just put a plus there. All right, so I think you're set. In terms of the teams, did you have any questions about anything in terms of like what you should be focusing or what a priority should be? Because that's usually towards the end. Is just like any questions or concerns you may have had that I did not address in this while I send you this breakdown.
Yeah, let me go take a look at my roster again really quick. Yeah, my focus is so split across a number of things right now.
That's never going to change, by the way.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you think I should put, I guess in the immediate future, should I put more focus on getting Iron Man up or a monstrosity?
Monstrosity is not as critical. But also, I think you can get Monstrosity up without much investment. Like, your Monstrosity is not far behind. So you wouldn't have to invest much in Monstrosity. I don't know exactly how Ironheart's going to be released, but Ironheart with Iron Man is going to be one of the top war offense teams in the game. Again, we saw them going 50-50 with an even-powered Asgardian team. So being able to reliably punch down on Asgardians even is a big boost. So I would say probably prioritize power armor. That said, though, Crossbones will work decently well as a fill-in. And any other tech character with like a big turn 2 AoE that doesn't have a home will do fine. There's also like if people have like a crazy high Red Star Wasp or something, they can use it in his place. But Iron Man brings a bunch of stuff online for War Machine, and then he gets the benefit of the offense up. He's got given everyone crit. His AoE is unavoidable. He's got the Unibeam. Yeah, I think Iron Man's the better investment. And,
Iron Man, all right.
And the rest of your power armor is so strong. So you've got a big climb, but then like you'll have just an incredible, like you'll be taking out a big defense. Every war you're gonna have a really big contribution. You're gonna one shot a team that it is only gonna go down to like big investment. And power armor punches up so well. They pull off 100k, 150k punch ups on crazy good defenses all the time. So
all right. Well, my milestone resets in a minute. So
we timed this out perfect. All part of the plan. Even your bathroom break.
30 seconds. 30 seconds left.
Nailed it. All right.
All right. Let's do. I want to look at a little bit more chat before we get wrap this up. Let's see.
Get the live rollover. Yeah, a lot of people are asking that, which is I don't know if you're able to explain some of the hurdles with adding more save squads, but they told me to tell you people want more save squads, and I'm like, I guarantee he'll roll his eyes because of how often he hears that people want more save squads. Like it's not new information for you at all.
Yeah, look, I mean, if the technical explanation, like in any way, would help kind of understand it a bit more, I might be able to. I would tell you, but it's like, here's the thing. So, like I've said, like it's a logistical. It's like a technical, right? And people are like, well, what's a technical issue? If I tell you that, if I tell you what it is, there's nothing you can do with the information. Like it's just you just know a little bit more about it. It's not like someone be like, oh well, because that's the issue. Like here's a solution. Like I'm a programmer and I can tell you like how to fix this. Like that's not, they're just it's not something that is going to.
Then it would be like, all right, well, let me see the code. Maybe I can figure it out.
Yeah. So I don't even. They have explained to me. I understand what the issue is, and like it's. I personally think that it's not a matter of if, it's when. We're looking at it. I mean, it certainly is a it's an important topic. Put it that way. It is important, and it's something I will bring up. So.
Yep, and we I can tell you this: the envoys do not give him a break about it. He'll attest to that. And
nobody gives me a break about it. No, it's and I don't give the team a break. That's part of my job, right? Like I am relaying to them. I basically what I do is I act as like kind of like a filter and a ice, right? So let's say let's take for example what I talked about earlier. Like every once in a while I'll get somebody who sends me, hey, here's a list of 10 things that you guys should be working on.
Yeah.
I can't bring a list of 10 things to the team because the first thing they're going to ask is like, well, what's the most important, right? The first thing that they're going to ask me is take these 10 things and put in a list of priorities with, 1 being the most important and 10 being the least important. Now, you ask the person who sent me those things, they're going to say they're all important, but I can't tell the team that. Right, need to know where to allocate resources and what the most important things are. So they rely on me to filter and prioritize and say like, okay, there are 10 things, but I'm going to bring 3 of them to your attention because these are the 3 that I think need the most attention from the team right now. So, and I would probably say that Save Squads is probably in that. I don't know if it's top 3, but probably top 5.
And I can speak. Not in any formal or official capacity, but just because people know that I'm on the Envoy server, I'll have people constantly messaging me like, "Hey, tell Cerebro, blah blah blah," and I'm like a filter for the filter. And
sure.
Plenty of people are like, "Hey, tell Cerebro, in this one node." 1 in 32 times when you use this odd combination of 2 characters, sometimes this thing displays wrong. And I'm like, I'm sure Cerebro would want that fixed, but you really want him reading that? Like, he needs to get on that right away. None of the other stuff. This is priority 1? It's probably not.
Yeah, that I think that's just the number one thing when speaking to anybody who is in game development. Most games have a long list of things that they want to address, but they can only do a few of them at a time. Like it's even the biggest, most popular games on the planet that have budgets and studio sizes that totally eclipses ours. There's no such thing as a game that's perfect, right? That players will say like, "Oh, the game is absolutely perfect. There are 0 problems with it." It's just it is perfection. Like it just the perfect game doesn't exist. So the next best thing is like, okay, we understand we've got some issues, so we're just going to try and deal with address as many as we possibly can. And where do you start? Well, with the biggest ones, the ones people are talking about the most or affect the greatest number of players.
Oh, side note, can you ban this guy who's ranked 2 in my arena? I can't beat his defense anymore, and it bothers me.
I don't have the tools for that.
Right.
I get people who ask me about like customer support stuff, and I'm like, look, I literally don't have access to the tools to do anything about that.
I'm just kidding,
So,
DCAT.
no.
I'm not trying to get you banned.
I literally could not do that, even if. But I understand it's a joke. Thanks.
All these Gear Tier 14s, man. Gear Tier 14, 6 Red Star, Black Bolt, and Phoenix, and then the 6 Red Star, Gear Tier 13, Mr. Sinister. Like, God, some people have all the luck. I didn't even look. You don't have any 7 Red Stars, do you?
I do.
Oh.
Hand Blade Master.
Oh, the Blade Master.
Yep, he's the master.
By the way, I've gotten I just thought this answer was funny. I've gotten several requests like ask Cerebro to do a Whale Wars, and I think I asked Cerebro and Zeeks and one other dev, and they were all like, not going to do that because on the off chance that I actually get a 7 red, just everyone is going to scream, you know, cheater, hacker, inside job, all these things.
Yeah, totally.
So here's Cerebro hacking it up with his 7 red Star Hand Blade Master, coming for your rank 1. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm jealous on account
my
of
Blade Masters. No, I don't know. I mean, maybe after the after we revamp the system, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll use that as part of a campaign to let people know, you know, how we'll have revamped the system.
You're always welcome. You know what would look even worse is if I finally got my first 7 red when you made an appearance on the show. No one would let me live it down. But I don't think we have to worry about that on account of I'm obviously never going to get one. But all right. So just can you walk us through what you were going through when you saw the gold drop coming down and then it was Blade Master? Did you have like a
it was a while ago though. Like it was a while ago. Like I'm trying to remember. It was probably a good, like, 3 or 4 months ago.
Do you remember if it was from an elite or from a normal orb, or just you just got it and you're like, great, whatever.
Yeah,
and then
I don't even remember that. Like, I don't remember which like orb it even came out of.
It clearly left a major impression. Someone says. All right, fair enough. Why did someone say, "Oh no, not Blitz"? What? It's nothing changed with Blitz. Was there an update? I noticed you're
on strike time about Blitz. There's one quality of life improvement that we're making, which is you can cycle through your squads instead of having to go to the squad select screen.
I saw that. That's
amazing. You can just cycle through them. Yeah. So I mean I don't know.
No, that's amazing. We've needed that for a while.
Yeah,
that's gonna.
Sometimes it's the little things.
Oh yes, no. People have been asking about it. I've seen several people like mock up, like it could look like this. So they like draw in their own little arrows. So that's the player base being listened to in real time. I'll say one of the things that makes this game great is while there's a handful of people who think that the devs don't listen very much, I think that the reason that this game is such a success is because they do listen so much.
I mean, I think it's one of the big advantages that any studio that is in North America has and should leverage, right? It's hard because I know this because I worked on a game that was developed internationally before, and the communication's a lot more difficult, and you don't know if the feedback you're forwarding is even being seen by being read by somebody. Like you're forwarding that information on, and you're kind of crossing your fingers. But I think I am in a very fortunate position to where I can see something that is said by either content creators or somebody just like on the Facebook group or.
Oh, he cut out there. What happened? We lost him. Oh, we apologize for these technical difficulties. Yeah, the video just dropped. He said too much. They cut him off. This is highly unprofessional. No, this is just Discord. Blame Discord. Vrondius, I would imagine that is going to be exactly the same. Like the arrows are basically just skipping the step where you load in the new characters. It's just gonna load in a preset. Oh, there we go. All right, he's back. Welcome back. All right, little blurry. Oh, you can't hear me yet. All right, you're back. You're a little blurry, but you're back.
Yeah. I gotta adjust the focus here. I gotta have something to focus on.
The conspiracy theories. Foxnex cut him off. He said too much.
Yeah, no, the studio's busy with other things right now.
He can get away with saying whatever right now.
Yeah.
Well,
again, where I was at was saying is that I am in a very fortunate position. I think this is really like one of the best jobs I've ever had because the studio is so open to hearing feedback and is very inclusive. And again, when I talk about having meetings, it's because they do want to hear the different points of view from the different people in the studio and try and see an issue from all sides. So I think that's only going to continue to get better. I understand that there was some trepidation and some things that happened in like the first 6 months to a year of the game launching. But I hope players will start to look back at like the last 6 months, or coming up on 1 year being at the company. Eventually, the last year, and hopefully comparing the two, and hopefully we're improving.
Yeah,
as time goes on.
I don't think anyone can say that the game hasn't been steadily improving. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone make a real case for the game not having been getting better. Just if nothing else.
Would you really be that hard pressed? I'm just kidding.
To find an individual who says it, probably not. But to find someone making an actual compelling case, I think so.
Sure. All right. Well, we're coming up. We're over 2 hours.
Yeah, I was wondering. I didn't want to kick you out, but I just kind of figured. Yeah, we got to be running out of time.
No problem. All right. Well, thanks so much for having me. Are you going to send me the text of all this?
It has already been sent to you via Discord.
Oh, okay, great.
So my last question before we let you go, I know we just had a strike time. Do you think there's anything you can tease for us? Anything exciting or upcoming that you can allude?
This is the worst time to ask. Like after just putting out a strike time, like we've basically said like everything that we could say right now.
All right, no pressure.
To get me like a week later, and then maybe I've got some info to share.
All right.
But hey, maybe Zach will have something that he wants to talk about. He's the character guy. I know he's working on a bunch of stuff, so maybe he can give you a little nugget.
Yep, I will tell him that you've completely signed off on him sharing everything.
All right,
we'll see how that goes.
All right.
Thank you very much for joining.
Thanks so much, for guys.
I hope you guys
this has been great. This is going to be very helpful. My alliance thanks you.
All right. Keep an eye out for not Cerebro. He's revamped his war squads.
Just not Cerebro. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Khasino.
No problem. Talk to you in a bit.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Peace.